Cancer, welcome to your weekly reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to start by selecting an oracle card to see what is the major theme of your week for Cancer. Let's see here. Clean it up. Cancer, there's something that needs your attention. Very interesting first card for you. So, Clean It Up is a card that carries a very interesting message. It is really one of taking care of things that need your attention. If you think about it sort of like doing a spring cleaning, but with respect to stuff regarding your own life. It's sort of a time to clean things up, to sort of get to the core of something and to feel free of it. It really is sort of like cleaning your house, like a spring cleaning where you're getting rid of things that you don't need anymore. You're going through your closet and you're like, this doesn't fit. I haven't worn this in years. It doesn't fit me anymore. It doesn't suit me anymore. These beliefs are outdated. This outfit's outdated. You know, that kind of feeling. It's time to clear the air if you're dealing in a relationship. So if this is about you and you, it's time to really have a look at your environment, yourself, and to see sort of like what needs to be cleared away so that you can fill the space up with things that like suit you and make you thrive. If you're dealing in a relationship right now, Cancer, you might have to look at your side of the street in the relationship with respect to sort of like what's your role when it comes to certain things. If you're dealing with a situation that feels overwhelming, it might be time to see how you can make room for things to line up so that it's not so overwhelming. What things can you delegate? What things are you over involved in? You know, like if let's say you're working on a project right now, do you have your hand in everything and you're not delegating to others? Or, you know, like what's going on here? So depending on what's at the highlight right now in your life, if it's a relationship, if with another, or if it's your relationship with yourself, or maybe it's something in the external world that you're working on, it may be time to have a look at it to clean up anything that feels like it doesn't belong there anymore, or it doesn't really have a purpose, or you're just hanging on to it maybe for sentimentality, but it doesn't actually serve you to hang on to it. There could be some outdated beliefs. There could be some things in your mindset that are not helping you thrive. And so it's sort of like these things have got to go so that you can make room for things that resonate. You know, sometimes we sort of do this like emotional hoarding where we hang on to all of these things just because we have an emotional attachment to them, but there's actually no other purpose than sentimentality. We're sort of just hanging on to them because of nostalgia, not because of any purpose that they serve anymore, right? So let's jump into the tarot and see. Oh my gosh, look at this. Ace of Cups. What a beautiful card to start your reading. Ooh. and it's an interesting card to start your reading when I see Clean It Up and Ace of Cups, because this says it's time for a new beginning. From the lotus, right? If there's no mud, there's no lotus. So it's sort of time to look at the mud and to have a look at all of the mud in your life and to see what is growing lotuses and what's just mud and nothing's happening. It's just stagnating and it's like not growing anything. It's not thriving like this beautiful image here. So this is a time of new beginnings for you, Cancer. It's really a time of a new beginning. It could be for some of you, this could be the blossoming of a new relationship. This could also be the sort of the blossoming of a new relationship with yourself. Like this could be inner work, or this could be a relationship with someone else, or this could just be a brand new beginning in a context where you have emotion attached to it, you know, a brand new beginning that you feel emotionally excited about or you feel in balance with. Now, I say in balance with because we just saw Justice come out in reverse and beneath it is the Two of Pentacles here. So I feel like you're dealing with some opposing forces regarding something. Something has got you looking at it to sort of understand which way to go. And I say that because of both the Two of Pentacles and Justice up here in reverse. So it's really interesting to see these two cards here with Clean It Up and an Ace of Cups. I feel like one of your options is a new beginning, but it's going to have to be up to you if you take that new beginning or not. You know, it's interesting because the Justice card comes right after the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a time where there's been sort of like a change, a destined karmic lesson, or a change has occurred. And now after that has happened, we're in a position, sorry, I knocked the camera. We're in a position after that to sort of decide the virtue of what's happening around us, you know, to bring balance and truth to a situation, to make it fair. And we look at cause and effect, and we sort of have an opportunity to shift our perspective, to be accountable. Lots of things can happen when justice appears. But when it's in reverse, it sort of feels like there is something out of balance that you need to take responsibility for. And that sort of echoes what we were saying about Clean It Up, is that it's time for you to look at your side of the sidewalk, okay? Your side of the street, your actions. What about what you've been doing, right? Like sometimes we get so caught up in looking at other people and trying to decide who's virtuous and who's not, and we become very judgmental, and then we sort of get distracted in a way where we're sort of looking at things that we'll never know the truth about. The only truth you'll ever know is about yourself. You know, even if you witness something, you'll never know exactly the truth about the individual, because they're outside of you. You can't know necessarily what's happening for them. Even if they tell you, that might not be their truth. They might just be telling you a story. So it's very intriguing to consider that ultimately the only person you really have any sort of perspective on is yourself. And so I feel like this reading is guiding you to look at your responsibility in something. It's guiding you to examine yourself, not the other person, and that there's a new beginning here for you if you can sort of wrap your mind around the idea that you have to take responsibility for your own actions and to learn from your own past experiences and then to grow from them, knowing that the ultimate isn't to judge yourself or to criticize yourself or to say, well, I've screwed everything up. No, the idea here is just to understand yourself and then perhaps go a different way, maybe try something different. I feel like this reading is guiding you towards that. And I just noticed the Devil on the bottom of the deck. So it's a very interesting time where it could be a battle of, you know, the ego distracting you with your vices and other distractions, or will you follow that inner voice that says, I need to have a look at this and clean up my side of the street? There's the Four of Pentacles. So we see here a lot of pentacle energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. We have the 2 and the 4 of Pentacles. You might be sitting in a place where you don't want to let go of something because you're afraid it'll never be replaced, which is the definition of scarcity, where you don't believe in this idea that it's an infinitely abundant universe and that there's enough for everyone. You might be caught up in some competition. You might be feeling like there's no road that pleases you. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's sort of like you needing to make a decision about where to go, but there's the 10 of Cups. I feel like that's telling us the truth right now. Are you feeling unworthy or undeserving of something? And if so, how come? How come? Even if there's something you have to take responsibility for, that doesn't mean you have to punish yourself by saying, well, that's it. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of abundance. I'm not worthy, period. Don't sell yourself down the river like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, forgive yourself or accept what happened, and don't be so emotionally triggered, because then you're going to be distracted and you might end up, I shouldn't say don't. I mean, you should do whatever you think is right. But seeing the Queen of Cups makes me feel like you're emotionally triggered. And as a result, you're feeling unworthy of this 10 of Cups. And then you're landing yourself in this scarcity pile where you're afraid to make any moves, because you're like, if I move from this spot or I use any of these coins, I'm never going to get anything back. That's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. And I mean, it's just so limited. So perhaps that's why we're seeing clean it up. You got to clean up this mindset from being so limited and focus on the inner celebrations. Four of Wands, really understanding, oops, let's just throw those back in. I see a card flipped over. The Empress, beautiful. Unifying the body, the mind, and the soul. Really stepping into unconditional love, and to sort of forego the idea of comparisons and judgments and being overly critical, because that ultimately is just going to cause you a bunch of delays. It's going to keep you feeling emotionally triggered. It's not going to help you feel worthy. It's not going to help you release scarcity. You know, you need to focus on a new beginning where you love yourself, Cancer, and you love yourself no matter what. Even if you have to take responsibility for something, we all have to take responsibility for everything. You know, that's sort of the way we learn lessons, is by taking responsibility and saying, what was this experience trying to teach me about myself? And why was I so, let's say, angry or emotionally, you know, feeling this way? Why was I triggered? Well, usually we're triggered because something has hit upon a wound that needs our attention. And Clean It Up is the ultimate card of needing to pay attention to something. It feels like it's time for Cancer to do sort of an inventory of what's going on. That's what this Justice in reverse. And to take responsibility for what's yours. In these dynamics, in whatever dynamic you're facing, it's time for you to take responsibility. And then you're going to start to feel this inner peace, this inner celebration, because you'll have taken responsibility without creating another wound for you to process later. Do you know what I mean? To just heal. I always think of the Ace of Cups as being a very unconditional love card, but also a very healing energy comes with this Ace of Cups. It's very healing to love yourself unconditionally, my friends. I'm going to leave it at that. What a very interesting reading for you, Cancer. If this has resonated for you, consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. It really helps to support the channel to get the messages out there. So I'm very appreciative of all your support, and I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. Have a wonderful week.